Once upon a time in Rosario, a legend was born, but not the kind you'd expect. In this story, you'll not only discover how Lionel Messi beat the odds, you'll also learn over 20+ native English phrases, tons of everyday slang, and expressions that will boost your fluency without even realizing it. So if you're learning English and love stories that hit you right in the heart, keep watching, because this one might just change the way you look at life. Imagine packing your whole life into one suitcase, flying thousands of miles away, just to chase a dream that might never come true. In this chapter, you'll learn over 15 native English phrases and expressions, like fish out of water, on a whole other level, and thrown in the deep end, all while following Messi's life-changing move from Argentina to Spain. Let's dive in. So get this. It's the year 2000. Lionel Messi is just 13 years old. He's quiet, homesick already, but he's about to board a flight that will change his life forever. Where to? Barcelona, Spain, home of one of the biggest football clubs on the planet. Now, let's keep it real for a sec. Would you have done it? Left your home country at 13? New language, new culture, new everything. That's scary even for an adult. But Messi? He didn't flinch. He was laser-focused. This wasn't just a move. This was a mission. Why did he leave? Well, Barcelona wasn't just offering him a chance to play. They said, "We'll pay for your treatment if you join our youth academy." That was the deal. And for a boy who just wanted to play ball, it was a no-brainer. He packed his bag, said goodbye to his mom, his brothers, and flew across the ocean with his dad by his side. And when he landed, he was a fish out of water. Shy, small, didn't speak a word of Spanish Catalan, didn't know the city, didn't know a soul. But when he stepped on the field, man, it was like everything made sense. He wasn't just good. He was on a whole other level. The coaches couldn't believe their eyes. Who was this skinny little kid from Argentina? How was he embarrassing players twice his size? They saw it. The spark. The magic. But here's what's crazy. Even with all that talent, Messi never acted like a big shot. He kept his head down, worked hard, stayed humble, day after day. He trained, ran drills, got back up when knocked down. He didn't just blend in. He stood out. Because while other kids were hoping to make it, Messi was preparing to make it. So what do you call that? Courage, vision, and grit, all wrapped up in a teenager. In Chapter 3, we'll watch that quiet kid make his way to the big leagues, face stadiums packed with thousands, and score goals that made the world say, "Wait, who is this kid?" Ready? Let's roll. What if you were doing something so well, so flawlessly, that people couldn't stop watching you, even though you said almost nothing? In this chapter, you'll hear how Lionel Messi quietly rose to the top of the football world. And along the way, you'll learn 18 natural English expressions and idioms, like "let his feet do the talking," "blew everyone away," and "head down, heart up." Let's go. So, Messi's training at La Masia, Barcelona's legendary academy. He's small, still soft-spoken, barely says a word. But when the ball is at his feet, Forget everything else. He's electric. Coaches would stop practice just to watch him. Other players? They were looking at each other like, "Yo, is this for real?" He was breaking ankles left and right, turning defenders into traffic cones. And he didn't even celebrate. He'd just smile, jog back to midfield, and wait for the next play. At just 17 years old, the unthinkable happened. He got the call up. FC Barcelona's senior team. Now pause. Think about that. You're 17, barely shaving, and now you're sharing a locker room with Ronaldinho, one of the biggest superstars in the game. Messi walked in like a ghost. Barely talked. Didn't act cocky. But once that whistle blew, he let his feet do the talking. He came off the bench. The crowd was curious. Some weren't even paying attention. Then, boom. A cheeky dribble. A quick 1-2 pass. And a left-footed goal that curled into the top corner. People jumped out of their seats like, "Wait. Who is this kid?" And that was just the beginning. From that day forward, Messi started turning heads. Then breaking records. Then rewriting the game. He scored with ease. Assisted like a magician. Moved like water. But get this. No ego. No drama. No talking trash. He just kept showing up. Game after game. Head down. Heart up. Boots laced. And even when the world started chanting his name, calling him the next Maradona, he didn't let it go to his head. He stayed that same humble kid from Rosario. Still quiet. Still focused. Still obsessed with getting better. So what happens when that quiet, polite kid becomes a global sensation overnight? In Chapter 4, we shift the story to Messi's biggest challenge yet. Representing his beloved Argentina, where the love was deep. But the pressure? Unbearable. You won't want to miss it. He wore the number 10 jersey. But it felt like he was carrying the entire weight of a nation. In this chapter, you'll see how playing for Argentina was Messi's biggest challenge. And along the way, you'll learn over 20 emotional phrases and expressions like under a microscope, shoulder the blame, and fall 7 times, stand up 8. This one's deep. Let's get into it. So here's the twist. While Messi was breaking records at Barcelona, winning everything there was to win, people kept asking, but what about Argentina? See, in his heart, Messi was always that kid from Rosario. Argentina was home. Wearing that blue and white shirt. It wasn't just an honor. It was personal. But man, it was tough. Every time he played for Argentina, the pressure was next level. The fans were ruthless. The media? Even worse. He was under a microscope. Every pass. Every miss. Every result. It all came back to him. He played in 3 major finals. And lost all of them. People said things like, "He's not passionate enough. He's no Maradona. He doesn't bleed for the shirt." It stung. It really stung. Because Messi cared more than anyone could imagine. But he was getting none of the love. Then in 2016, after yet another heartbreak, he'd had enough. He actually said, "I'm done. I'm retiring from international football." And just like that, he walked away. Now pause for a second. Imagine giving everything, your sweat, your soul, and still getting blamed. Would you come back? Because Messi? He did. Why? Because his teammates begged him. Because the fans started realizing, maybe we've been too hard on him. But mostly, because Messi still believed. He believed in his people, in his team, in the dream. Then came Copa America 2021. Messi was a different beast. Focused. Fierce. And this time, he led with fire. Final match. Argentina versus Brazil. In Brazil's backyard. The tension? Off the charts. Argentina held on. Every player gave their all. And when that final whistle blew, victory. Messi dropped to his knees. Tears in his eyes. His teammates lifted him into the air. Like a king finally coming home. It wasn't just a win. It was redemption. But the story doesn't end there. Because 1 year later, Messi would return to the world's biggest stage. The FIFA World Cup. And what happened next? Well, let's just say, it became the stuff of legends. Don't miss Chapter 5. If you could write your own ending, how would you finish your story? In this chapter, Lionel Messi gets one last chance to win football's greatest prize. And you? You'll learn over 20 natural expressions like all or nothing, history in the making, heart in your throat, and more. Buckle up. This is the one we've been building toward. All right. It's 2022. Qatar. The world is watching. The heat is on. And Messi? He knows it's his last World Cup. This is it. All or nothing. The pressure? Unreal. Billions of eyes. One dream. No do-overs. First game? Argentina loses. Fans panic. Commentators throw shade. And just like that, people start whispering again. Is it happening all over again? But Messi? He doesn't flinch. He steps up to the mic and says, "We will not give up." Then it starts. The comeback. Game by game. Goal by goal. Assist by assist. Messi's out there like a man on a mission, dragging Argentina forward, like a storm wrapped in cleats. And the world falls in love with him all over again. Then, the final. Argentina versus France. Two powerhouses. Two legends. Messi versus Mbappe. The stage? Set. And what unfolded was nothing short of history in the making. Argentina scores first. Then again. 2-0. Fans are losing their minds. But France, they don't back down. Mbappe scores. Then scores again. Suddenly, it's 2-2. Extra time. Nerves everywhere. Hearts pounding. Legs shaking. Messi scores again. 3-2 Argentina. But wait. Mbappe steps up. Hat trick. 3-3. We're going to penalties. Now pause for a sec. This isn't just sport. This is cinema. Every kick feels like life or death. You can hear a pin drop. Then, Argentina scores. Saves. Scores again. And finally, that last penalty lands. It's over. Argentina are world champions. The camera cuts to Messi. He's on his knees, face buried in his hands, tears falling like rain. His teammates rush him. They lift him on their shoulders, holding him up like a national treasure. Fireworks explode. Fans cry in the stands. People are dancing in the streets from Buenos Aires to Tokyo to Lagos to London. And there it is, the image that will live forever. Messi holding the World Cup, smiling like a kid, crying like a warrior, surrounded by love. He did it. He finally did it. But here's the thing. The trophy wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something deeper. A new chapter where Messi didn't just play the game. He gave back. In Chapter 6, you'll meet the man behind the legend. The prankster. The dad. The human. It's about to get joyful and personal. You've seen the magician on the field. But who is Lionel Messi when the cameras are off? In this chapter, you'll discover the real guy behind the greatness. And learn over 15 everyday English expressions like crack a joke, low-key, just vibing, and Family Guy energy. Let's pull back the curtain and meet Leo. So here's something wild. The most famous footballer on earth? Yeah. He's also the chillest dude you've ever met. When Messi's not training, he's just vibing. Flip-flops on. T-shirt. Playing tag with his kids in the backyard. He's not flashing watches. Not showing off cars. He's got low-key energy. Total Family Guy vibes. He's married to Antonella, his childhood sweetheart. They've been together since before the fame. Before the trophies. Before the billboards. Together? They've built a life that feels real. They've got 3 boys. Tiago, Matteo, and Ciro. And trust me, those kids are wild in the best way. Quick story. Messi was doing a live interview. Looking all serious and professional. And out of nowhere, Matteo crashes in screaming Papa. Half naked. Chocolate all over his face. What did Messi do? He just laughed. Like. Belly laughed. Didn't even skip a beat. Pure dad energy. Now at training? That's where you see the goofball come out. He's always cracking jokes. Sneaking up behind teammates. Nutmegging them when they're not looking. He once scored an insane goal in practice, turned to the bench, and said, "Y'all can go home now." Legendary. But here's the part that gets you. For all the fame, all the fortune, Messi has never let it go to his head. No scandals. No ego. No drama. Just love for the game. Love for his family. And love for the people. He's the kind of guy who'll take a selfie with every single fan at an airport. Even when he's running late. He doesn't roll his eyes. He doesn't act above it all. Because he remembers what it felt like to be that little kid, dreaming through the fence. And it's that human side. That makes his story hit harder. But what about the people? The fans? In Chapter 7, we flip the script and show you how the world loves Messi right back. In ways you won't believe. Some athletes are respected. A few are admired. But Messi? He's loved. In this chapter, we're taking you around the world. From rooftops in Cairo to alleyways in Delhi. To show you what it really means to be a global icon. And yep, you'll pick up 20 plus everyday phrases like all heart, ride or die, gets you right in the feels, and more. Ready? Let's roll. All right. Let's set the stage. There are celebrities. There are athletes. And then, there's Messi. This dude doesn't just have fans. He has followers for life. Ride or die kind of love. You'll see murals of him in the Philippines. You'll see kids in Nigeria drawing his number 10 on their backs with chalk. You'll see tears in the eyes of grown men in India. Watching him play at 4 in the morning. He's not just a footballer. He's a feeling. Wanna hear something beautiful? There was a boy in Afghanistan. Didn't have a jersey. So he made one out of a blue and white plastic bag. Wrote Messi 10 on the back with a marker. That photo went viral. And guess what? Messi found the kid. Sent him real shirts. Invited him to a match. Hugged him like he'd known him forever. Didn't do it for clout. Didn't make a big show. Just heart. Pure, unfiltered heart. Or how about this? A blind fan once came to a game. His dream? To hear Messi describe his own goal. After the match, Messi found him. Sat down. Told him play by play how it happened. Here's when I got the pass. I cut left. The keeper dove. I slid it past him near post. And the fan? Smiling from ear to ear. That moment? Priceless. You see, Messi's love story with the world. It's not about the goals. It's not even about the trophies. It's about how he makes people feel. Whether you're from Buenos Aires or Bangkok. Whether you speak Spanish, Swahili, or silence, you feel Messi. And when he finally lifted that World Cup, the whole planet erupted. Videos poured in. Kids dancing in mud streets. Families crying together in living rooms. That wasn't just a football win. That was hope. That was healing. That was every little kid's dream coming true in one perfect moment. But here's what hits the hardest. Even with all that love, Messi still acts like he's just a quiet kid from Rosario. In our final chapter, Chapter 8, we look at his legacy and what you can take from it. Because this story, it's not just about Messi anymore. It's about you. Legends never really leave. They leave light. In this final chapter, we're closing Messi's story, but opening the door for yours. And along the way, you'll pick up over 25 final phrases and power expressions like leave your mark, on your journey, 1 in a billion shot, and show up for yourself. Let's finish strong. So now you've heard it all. From the dusty streets of Rosario to the golden lights of the World Cup. From heartbreak to history. But what really stays with you about Lionel Messi isn't the goals, or the stats, or even the trophies. It's how he carried himself. Quiet, focused, kind, brave. He didn't scream for attention. He didn't flex on social media. He didn't act like the world owed him anything. He just showed up. Over and over again. Day after day. Game after game. When people doubted him, he stayed consistent. When things got hard, he stayed humble. When the lights were the brightest, he stayed present. And now, he's left something behind that can't be measured. Not just a legacy in football, but a template for greatness. For being great at anything. So here's the million-dollar question. What's your story? What's the dream you've been hiding in your chest? Too scared to chase? You don't need to be famous. You don't need a fancy jersey. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need one thing. Heart. Because if Messi's journey taught us anything, it's that greatness doesn't start with applause. It starts with a whisper. It starts when no one's watching. When you're tired, doubting, and you show up anyway. So now, it's your turn. To write. To move. To rise. And maybe, to inspire someone else. The way Messi inspired you. Don't just admire greatness. Live it. Start today. And play like Messi.